And how is everybody doing today? I had a few days off from going live, doing videos of any type, any nature. The wife and I went away for Valentine's Day. It was fucking awesome. And we are back. So I have videos planned for today, tomorrow, Friday. And then all next week, we'll be doing a normal load of videos, Monday through Friday lives, and other videos probably daily next week because it is time to ramp some shit up so we as a people can get healthy and shrug off all this burden that we've had. Today, we're going to be talking about vitamin D deficiency, something that on YouTube, as close to as just a few months ago, would have been seen as completely illegal. So we are going. Hey, what's up, Raja 316? How are you? Emily Palmer, how are you doing? Janet, how are you doing? What's going on? Elizabeth Jeremiah Smith. Hello from Canada. I hope you're in one of the free parts of Canada, not one of the not one of the not the crazy dude. Just like I mean, you guys got somebody that's pretty much getting ready to declare themselves like emperor of Canada. You guys need to do something about that. They demonize vitamin D to keep everyone in their houses. That's one thing. Hey, brother, looking swole. I'm actually getting ready to lean out a little bit. I'm feeling good, feeling good. I don't care about being swole. I'm going to be. I was talking to somebody earlier about that. Like, I set a goal to be in the best shape of my life on my 51st birthday. Just like last year, I set a goal to be in the best shape of my life on my 50th birthday. So I am going to be in the best shape of my life on my 51st birthday. Said I would. You can fucking take that to the goddamn bank. And I'm going to uh, do it in a way, by best shape, I mean, I'm going to be the healthiest I've ever been. I'm going to be at a very healthy body fat range. I'm going to be mobile, and I'm going to be eating well. I'm going to feel not restricted. I'm going to be sleeping good, stress relief, everything like that. I'm going to be the healthiest I've ever been on my 51st birthday. Bank on it. Lots of people joining. Very, very, very cool. Uh, guess expert's wrong, bro. We'll see. We are going to go over a few things. We are going to go over the new study on vitamin D, which I need to actually pull that one back up because I was looking at it, and then here we go. Let's see if I can get to the study. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Anyway, then we'll do some Q&A afterwards. It's just crazy. I just wanted to say that, I mean, I wish that, I wish I could say that I was wrong about a lot of this shit. What's happening in Canada, Alan? Or where do you live? You don't know what's happening in Canada. Um, I mean, that's fucking, anyway. But, from the West Coast, far from the protests in Ottawa. Yeah. But I find it amazing that vitamin D deficiency has been known for a long fucking time to produce negative outcomes when it comes to uh, when it comes to upper respiratory infections, upper respiratory illnesses, of the lungs, basically. That's what respiratory means. uh, if you are vitamin D deficient, you're much more prone to having what's called a cytokine storm, which means it's an inflammation storm. I will say this. One of the best videos about this was done in May by Mark, my business partner. We are going to go over his video real quick. And I'm going to pull it up right here. and we're going to discuss this and a whole bunch of other shit. Boom. And I say boom, like, because that's what he always says anyway. Let's see. So we're going to go and listen to what Mark has to say. Now, I will remind everybody that this video has under 3,000 views on it, on a channel of 400,000 people, with linked studies and data and everything like that. Like, they absolutely, like, YouTube absolutely tanked this channel, or tanked this video. Before we do any of that, though, I just want to remind everybody that we do have a coaching special going on. It is for 3-month block of coaching. It is for anybody on this live right now. It is for anybody on this live. There's also a link to a 30-minute consultation. The 30-minute consultation gets you a month to our app, where you get to use the pre-recorded yoga. You get to sign up for any of the classes that are offered. Krista was doing 3 classes today. She did 3 classes. She's going to have done 3 classes today. But also, you get to send me a message, send me messages, half-hour consultation, and then if you decide you want coaching after that, it is for we will take off the price of the consultation, and you get to use the app for the entire month. That said, and it's in the pinned comment above and everything like that. That said, we're going to start on this video, and we will go.
What's up, everybody?
Well, you know what? I think I need to redo this because I don't know if I actually did this correct. I hate when I do this. I'm out of practice because I wasn't here for the last couple of days, but I got to make sure. Yeah, share the system audio. That's what I need to do. Save yourself. Share. There we go. We're back. Okay, here we go.
So check it out. So COVID-19 is going crazy, and we're getting a lot of new data in. And I want to start this off. I'm not a doctor, and the first thing you say, what are your qualifications?
I can't tell you how many times that was asked of me. Like, are you a doctor? And what I found kind of funny about that is that, no, I'm not a doctor. I do have over a dozen years of experience as a healthcare executive. I do find it kind of amazing that people pretty much would take the comments of other people who weren't doctors, who were just going along with the rhetoric. The idea is science does not need a pedigree. If you actually bring up scientific information, that should be brought through. I'm perfectly willing to sit down and have a conversation with anybody, including doctors. But as somebody that worked with doctors, nurses, psychologists, dietitians, many people who did have pharmacy PhDs, like almost every hospital, by the way, has a pharmacological PhD. That way they know the best way to distribute medications and that sort of thing. Just true, But I'll sit down and talk with anybody, but you're damn well going to fucking explain it to me. So you're going to explain it to me in a terminology that I can understand. And if you can't explain it to me in terminology that I understand, explain the terminology, the other terminology to me. And I have yet to find anybody that can tell me why we demonized vitamin D at the beginning of this. I have yet to find anybody. I've never even heard a few of these healthcare professionals mention vitamin D in 2 years. Most of them have never mentioned obesity either. And I find that to be off-putting and telling. I really do. Anyway, here we go.
Well, I don't know. You guys want Bill Gates to make you a vaccine? He doesn't even have a college degree.
Exactly what I just said.
Do know how to do is read studies. I know about health. I know about supplementation. I know about exercise. That is what I do. That's what I spent my life learning and doing and all that stuff. So I've put together a list of ways that you can help prevent health complications from getting different kind of viruses and things. I saw a statistic last week that absolutely blew my mind. 66% of new COVID-19 cases in New York were from people who were locked down, not essential.
Now, mind you, this was in May, okay? So people need to understand that this data, we can get into the whole, the test they were using at the time, the PCR test, produces massive false positives. This is admitted now too, right? But this also showed that it was not working. Like, lockdowns were not working. We should have had people outside.
Workers, not paramedics, not people at Walmart, because obviously you can't get the damn thing at Walmart from people who are locked down and following the rules, so to speak. So I put together a little cheat sheet of, and again, there's an article, all the references are down below. Here it is, the link between health, vitamin D, and COVID-19. Now, here's the thing. In 2017, the flu killed 80,000 people in the United States, and that is with a working vaccine. However,
Also, I would like to point out that in 1718, the flu of 1718, also hospitalized in that 4-month period of time about 900,000 people, which was more people that were hospitalized in the entirety of 2020 for the vid. We have somebody that's very, 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 very upset. Let's see here.
Studies have shown, in fact, the study I'm looking at here, that vitamin D has been shown to help. In one study, investigators found that daily or weekly supplementation had the greatest benefit for individuals with most significant vitamin D deficiency, cutting their risk of respiratory infection in half, and that all participants experienced some beneficial effects from regular vitamin D supplementation. Administering occasional high doses of vitamin D did not produce significant benefits. So basically, keep your levels high. You can't just...
So that's the thing. I think the people who are viewing it as a treatment, when vitamin D supplementation should be seen as a preventative for a lot of things. It is an essential nutrient that we are short of. Here's the reality. What is the negative effect of possibly supplementing vitamin D? It's incredibly inexpensive per dose. It is amazingly useful in many, many, many regards, and it is completely healthy, you know?
Just supplement vitamin D when you get sick. You have to keep it in your body. Another thing, this one absolutely floored me. 95% of those admitted to the hospital had comorbidities, such as high blood pressure and a lot of obesity related comorbidities. Obesity.
By the way, this is before Mark and I were really actually even kind of hanging out again.
Itself is a comorbidity. Now, here's another one. And again, all the references. Regular exercise plays a starring role in keeping you healthy and preventing illnesses. It strengthens your immune system and helps fight viral and bacterial infections. So the thing is, the flu is still here. Now we have COVID to deal with. So what do? Well, being sedentary and staying indoors is not the answer.
I mean, this is stuff we knew. You know, we absolutely knew this. By the way, anybody that wants to check this video out, I suggest you go watch it yourselves. Give it some views. It's right there in the comment section, in the linked comment section below in the video, by the way. You can see all the studies that are listed that he is reading from. Give me 1 second. And I think you can. Yeah, save yourself. Vitamin. There's the link. There's that. Anyway, we're going to go over a few studies too after this, but back to it.
Okay, it's not the answer. I don't believe these lockdowns are the right move. However, you know what? Hindsight is always 2020.
I will point out that pre-site was 2020 with this. It just absolutely was.
So check this out. In hospitals, 85% of those in the ICU versus 57% of those who were floor patients had a deficiency in vitamin D. 85.
So 85% of the people that were in the ICU had a vitamin D deficiency. That is amazing. That is insane. How this was not a focal point for 2 years is kind of crazy. It really has just been brought to fruition not too long ago. And here is the study we're going to be talking about in case any of you want to open it up, or the article that we're going to be talking about. Let's see here. And I do see that we have, I'd go directly to this. There we go. I see we have a crazy person. It looks to be like he picks the studies he wants. Show me a study that shows that vitamin D is dangerous and not beneficial. Show one. Like, you sound ridiculous. Here's or let me see how many support How many support your statement? That vitamin D is good for you? All of them? I mean, 5,000 IUs of vitamin D to prevent cytokine storms? All of them. Pretty much all of them would show that. That's fine. It doesn't work. Vitamin D doesn't work. Who the fuck's paying? Is like fucking Bill Gates paying you? Vitamin D doesn't work against viruses, you mean? So are you serious? I mean, okay. That's insane. Let's see here. How about this one? We are going to go with this basic one. Share screen. The role of vitamin D in suppressing cytokine storms. As I was talking about, like, I mean, it's like you guys volunteer to sound stupid. Daily admission recovery of deceased rate data for patients with COVID-19 from countries of over 5,000 confirmed cases through March 21, 2020 were selected. A potential association between severe vitamin D deficiency and age-specific case fatality rate was investigator reported. Medical characteristics of 793 COVID-19 patients were used to evaluate the intensity of cytokine storm in severe COVID-19 using C-reactive protein, CRP levels. Medical data reported from a national study of 3,848 participants in 2007 to 2008 was used to investigate the association between vitamin D status and CRP. Odd ratio risks for these conditions were used to predict the potential impact of vitamin D and reduction of cytokine storms. Finding age-specific CFR in Italy, Spain, and France, 70 years older to 80 years older was substantially higher, 1.9 times than other countries. For the elderly age greater than 70, Italy and Spain represented the highest CFR. The age-specific ratio confirmed cases in Italy, Spain, and France has also been substantially higher than other countries. A more severe deficiency in vitamin D, meaning 25 hydroxyvitamin D, 250 HD, concentration less than 0.25 mgl, is reported in Italy and Spain compared to other countries. Our analysis of the report clinical data for multiple studies suggests the elimination of severe vitamin D deficiency reduces the risk of high CRP levels, odds ratio of 2, which may be used as surrogate marker of cytokine storms, which was estimated to potential risk of severe COVID-19 up to 15%. So in other words, it's beneficial and there is no negative side effects to it. Like, again, like I really wish that people would understand that vitamin D is an important aspect to just your life in general also. It is not just a matter of, just for this, this one thing, Let's go here. We're going to share this one also. And this is from 6/2022, from the other day, from last week, from February 6th. This is an article on Bar Ilan University and pre-infection deficiency associated with increased disease severity and mortality among hospital patients. Vitamin D is most often recognized for its role in bone health, but low levels of the supplement have been associated with a range of autoimmune, cardiovascular, and infectious diseases. Early on in the pandemic, health officials began to encourage people to take vitamin D. I didn't see that anywhere in our place, as it plays a role in promoting immune response and could protect against COVID-19. In a study published in the journal PLS 01, researchers from the Azrael Facility of Medicine of Bar Ilan, I think I'm getting it right, University in Safed, and the Galilee Medical Center in Naharia show a correlation between vitamin D deficiency and COVID-19 severity and mortality. The study is among the first to analyze vitamin D levels prior to infection, which facilitates a more accurate assessment than during hospitalization when levels may be lower secondary to viral illness. The findings reported today build upon results initially published in MedRx. The records of 1,176 patients admitted between April 2020 and February 2021 to the medical center with positive PRC tests, which again, it doesn't necessarily mean that's true, were searched for vitamin D levels measured 2 and 3 weeks, 2 weeks and 2 years prior to infection. Patients with vitamin D deficiency were 14 times more likely to have a severe critical case of COVID than those who were more than 40 ng per milliliter. Strikingly, mortality amongst patients with sufficient vitamin D levels was 2.3%, in contrast to 25.6% in the vitamin D deficiency group. The study adjusted for age, gender, season, summer, winter, chronic disease, and found similar results across the board, highlighting that low vitamin D levels contributed significantly to disease severity and mortality. Our results suggest that it is advisable to maintain normal levels of vitamin D. This will be beneficial to those who contract the virus, or any virus, said Dr. Emil Drohr of the Medical Center. There is a clear consensus for vitamin D supplementation on a regular basis, as advised by local health authorities as well as global health organizations. So, quote, the study contributes to a continuing, evolving body of evidence suggesting that a patient's history of vitamin D deficiency is a predictive risk factor associated with poor COVID-19 clinical disease course and mortality. It is still unclear as to why individuals suffer severe COVID-19 infections while others don't. Our findings add this new dimension to solving the puzzle. So again, I do not see where data and actual studies in any way, especially when it is about something that is in fact not dangerous at all, and just other beneficial in other ways, bone health, other autoimmune diseases and everything like that. It's good for your immune system. I don't understand why there's a demonization of it, or why this crazy person in the fucking in the thing is asking me to do my own research, and boom, it's done. Here we go. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Here's one thing I wanted to look over too, because this is a very, very serious thing that people should understand. This is vitamin D in obesity, because somebody did ask this. Vitamin D is essential for bone health and may also have an important function in immune and other systems. Vitamin D deficiency is common, and testing and supplementation is increasing. Serum vitamin D is lower in obese people. It is important to understand the mechanism of this effect and whether it indicates clinically significant deficiency. Vitamin D is fat soluble and distributed into fat, muscle, liver, and serum. All of these compartments are increased in volume in obesity. So the lower vitamin D likely reflects a volumetric dilution effect and whole body stores. Despite low serum levels, despite low serum vitamin D, obese adults do not have higher bone turnover or lower bone mineral density. Patients undergoing bariatric surgery do have bone loss, and ensuring vitamin D sufficiency in these patients may help to attenuate loss. So in a summary, lower vitamin D levels in obese people is consistent finding across ages, ethnicity, and geography. This may not reflect a clinical problem. Obese people need higher loading doses of vitamin D to achieve the same serum 25-hydroxyvitamin D as a normal person. So they actually need more vitamin D to reach the same level, which makes perfect sense because they're bigger than other people. So is it more, do they process it less? No, they don't process it less. They just have more body to get it to. So therefore they need more of it. It's the same thing as if a 300-pound person or a 250-pound, like 6'8" person would have to take more vitamin D than a 100-pound, 5-foot tall person. Just, reality. So in reality, what we're finding is the more comes out about how things have been viewed and seen over the course of the last 2 years, the basics still hold true. The basics of don't be fat, take your vitamins, get in the sunlight, get activity. All of these things should have been spoken about ad nauseum. Mark's video should have been a public service announcement that was portrayed off of every single channel. More lives would have been saved by that than by lockdown, in my personal opinion, of course. Casey, how are you doing? So that is my stick for vitamin D. It's just basic fucking common sense. So we're going to get to the comments because I think I'm ready to have some fun today. Get out, exercise, eat real food. Boom! That right there. That is absolutely phenomenal fucking advice right there. Absolutely. Are you recommending people stay vitamin deficient? Am I recommending that people stay vitamin D deficient? Not even at all. I'm recommending people take at least 5,000 IUs of vitamin D a day and still get outside. do your own research. Literally pulls up multiple studies. That's the thing. Like, I don't know who the fuck that person was. I mean it can't be. Like, that's why I don't even know if it was Sophia. Because let's be real. Like, when don't I? There we go. We're gonna block that user for the fucking bot thing. Dr. Berg is the best to explain vitamin D deficiencies. I think Michael was talking to Isabella. I think so too. So now that I look back at it, she's crazily gone. And that's it. I guess some people didn't get the memo that Google suppresses information about it. It doesn't suit their narrative. That's the thing too. If you are only depending upon the people to tell you what you need, I can't believe that. I mean, it has to be a troll thing to in some way think that vitamin D is not an actual health aid. But okay, you do you. Look as stupid as you fucking want. That's absolutely, you have a right to look as stupid as you would fucking like to look. That works for me. Agreed about adding magnesium. There is a whole regimen: quercetin, vitamin D, like all sorts of things. So doesn't vitamin D prevent scurvy, or am I thinking something else? Vitamin C, but I'm sure vitamin D is part of it. Oh, I'm sure she is. Anyway, let me go down here. I'm a New Yorker myself. D. Crane. I don't miss the snow days. Dr. John Campbell on YouTube did a lot of vids earlier on about all this, and CNN says not to do your own research. That's funny. We're at a stage now where, like, it's obviously very, very seriously just like two camps. We know that some people are never like. I have a hard time believing that there's some people that are fully invested in this lunacy that they're going to in some way come out of it. Like, we have so many people that are so very seriously invested in their victimhood and wanting to be afraid and being feared. Like, I have not been afraid a single fucking day about an actual virus. Not one fucking day. Not for myself. For my loved ones, there was at the very beginning, and I still am afraid for my loved ones about any virus. If you have immunocompromised loved ones, just so everybody understands, for my immunocompromised loved ones, I'm afraid of any virus, because if they're high risk for the vid, they are fucking high risk. I don't understand how this is a new fucking concept. I don't understand why people all of a sudden pretended like people were all of a sudden at risk. We have people saying like, but we have a lot of immunocompromised people. We've always had a lot of immunocompromised people. We actually made more immunocompromised people in the last 2 years by locking down and ordering a steady stream of DoorDash. To me, that's kind of counterproductive. If I was Secretary of Health, would have done some different shit. Been like, make sure you go the fuck outside. We are going to very seriously suggest you limit your intake of ultra-processed carbohydrates and processed sugar. And if you are, in fact, morbidly obese, and this could have been said before the pandemic too, but if you are morbidly obese, stop it. The reality of it is that we have given zero fucks about people's lives and health for a long time. The very second that our public health officials have started ignoring obesity and vitamin deficiency, the very second that we do not have a very clear denouncement of what is now my plate, but what used to be the fucking the food pyramid, until the FDA and federal government denounces that stupid shit and stops suggesting to people that they have 11 servings a fucking day. 11 servings a fucking day of grains and processed carbohydrates and shit. We can just kind of assume they don't give a fuck about health. In my opinion, of course, like they can't possibly, be seen that people give a fuck about health when they're telling you to do unfucking healthy things. That's reality. That's how I view stuff. That's my opinion, of course. People can disagree. Like people that were up here earlier who were saying, let's find one, because I think it'll be funny. Do your own research. Yeah, Google can show studies. Then I just showed studies and talked about them. I get that people want to stay in their fucking, they want to stay in their bubble. I get it that they want to stay in this little world that's been built for them to make them feel like they are both morally superior and victims. Like they have not in some way screw fucked themselves into ill health. And by them just doing the very minimum of what is told by, wearing a facial decoration or other thing like that, they can sit and act morally superior when in fact their own actions are what is in fact making the healthcare system be burdened. My video today, earlier, and in case you didn't watch it, I would hope you do, and please do share, does talk again about how we all talked last week, where 86% of the burden on healthcare is chronic illness related, and about 80 to 90% of chronic illness is lifestyle related. If we're all of a sudden worried about the hospital system now, why were we not worried when that happened? And why did we not encourage people to reduce down their lifestyle-driven chronic illnesses to help alleviate burden on the healthcare system? I'm not suggesting that it's because they want your fucking money and they don't want you fucking healthy. I'm not suggesting that, even though it does sound awfully suggestible. I'm not suggesting that because I don't want, this fucking video to be fucking stricken. I'm not suggesting that there is no inherent benefit to the pharmaceutical industry, the food industry, the healthcare industrial complex to have a healthy population. I'm not saying that these people make money from people being chronically ill. I'm just saying that if you look at it, it is pretty fucking apparent how these people make money. If there was money in a cure, I would suggest we might have more of them. But the money is not in the cure. The money is in the comeback, as Chris Rock once said, before he turned bitch and decided he was going to be a pharmaceutical sales rep. But I just want to point out that we as people need to very seriously start realizing that our personal health is our responsibility. And our personal health being our responsibility, if we want to be in a society that is somehow going to look at population health as a reason to in any way affect the lives of everyone, including our children, that it should be seen as an American responsibility to be as healthy as humanly possible. If you are not healthy due to your own hand, meaning the way you eat, sleep, drink, smoke, something, if you are unhealthy, if you have a chronic illness, if you are constantly accessing the healthcare system, using insurance, those sorts of things, and not trying to fucking fix it, you are burdening society. You are burdening all of society. It is just reality. It is not something being said to be mean. It is not something said to try to hurt people's feelings. It is not something that is being said to try to in any way make people feel bad about themselves. It is being said to wake people the fuck up. It is being said in order to try to get people to understand that for their benefit, for their family's benefit, for their children's benefit if they have any, for their parents, for their siblings, for everybody, for society, for their community and their society's benefit, they should take responsibility for their own fucking actions. We talked about it last week. $3 trillion a year could likely be saved if we had a healthy society. If we had a society that was not 90%, that 86% of our healthcare was not chronic illness related, and 90% of that was by fucking choice. When you see it that way, 90% of 86% of $2.7 trillion just spent in healthcare, yet alone the other $1 trillion spent on pharma and shit. When you look at it that way, you are, by choice, using a lot of fucking resources, and we don't even begin to discuss how much resources it fucking takes for you to get that fucking way. How you are using more resources than other people. How you are using more gasoline. How you are using more transportation. How you are causing more farming, more everything to be used. People, it is fucking time you guys wake up. You know, like, I mean, and I'm not talking to most of you because most of you are trying to be healthy. Somebody says, I'm trying to eat healthier. We can help you with that. Here is, whoops. We can help you with that. You can get our coaching. Here you go. Or you can get a consultation right there. Please take me up on the offer. That is the best price we can possibly offer, and we are not going to be offering that price even on these lives for long. You know, it is very important. It is just very, very, very important. The Georgia Guidestones and Alternative 3 spell out the plan of the 1%ers for anyone to see, but if you never look, you'll never see. I see it. I hear you. No taxation without representation. If I'm paying for your health care, then I have a say in the matter. Here's my thing. Like, wait, I like this. No child should go to bed hungry if we weren't wasting resources on obesity. I fucking agree. Like, at some point in time, people need to kind of just accept that they're selfish as fuck. That's why people, you know, and tomorrow's video, by the way, is going to be a case study on the societal delusion about obesity, and the case study is going to be Tess Holliday. She has been going off lately on her shit, and we're just going to talk about it. It's going to be a fun video for me. Fun. Not fun for her. Fun video for me. But it's societal delusion. Like, you know, your feelings are hurt because we don't fucking make seats big enough for your fat ass. I'm sorry, but like, you're asking, like, that is not a bitch. That is not a complaint. That is not a real fucking thing. Where you're pretending society doesn't fit you. I'm sorry, but if you're using more resources to then stay unhealthy and burden our healthcare system, it's time for you to shut the fuck up and move a little bit and watch what you fucking eat. Get some psychological counseling. Get some mental health counseling. Some real mental health counseling that does not involve you being told you're fucking awesome the entire fucking time. Like, I find it incredible to think that people somehow, like, there's a video of this crazy woman talking about how she just wants to make sure, like, her doctor should just listen to her and what she says. No, if you go to a fucking doctor, you should listen to what your fucking doctor tells you, or why go to the fucking doctor and use up resources? If you are going to be upset by what the doctor has to say to you, don't fucking go. That's on you. I think everybody, like, especially if you're morbidly obese, I think you should go to your doctor. You should listen to your doctor. You should listen. But don't fucking go if you're just going to be like, oh, you didn't tell me what I wanted to hear. Sometimes the truth fucking sucks. Especially when you know you did it to your fuck self. What the fuck's wrong with people? No shit. No shit. Thanks, Alan. I'll peep it. My pleasure. They want to copy European healthcare system, but leave out how people actively encourage everyone to be healthy as a community. In Europe, the portion sizes are teeny compared to what we fucking eat here. Very fucking small. They eat very light compared to us. Very, very light compared to us. It is very true. I do find it ironic how many people are obese, yet some are still going hungry. Share your food with somebody who actually needs it. I agree. Do you know what would happen to food prices if morbidly obese people all of a sudden cut their food intake in half? Do you know what food prices would do? Food prices would fucking tank. Like tank. They would fucking food would get super inexpensive. The problem with mental health is that you still need to be willing to change and to acknowledge that that is the problem with mental health. Natalia, I completely agree. A huge problem is in our society, and I've been warning people about this since well before the pandemic. When you accept a chronically ill state of being as perfectly acceptable, and we shouldn't, in any way encourage these people, and we should avoid in any way making these people feel bad, Here's my thing. I don't want anybody to feel bad. I want you to feel empowered. I want you to feel like you can conquer obesity. For that to happen, you need to accept the fact you're fucking doing it. For that to happen, you need to accept that you are doing it. I cannot tell you how often I am met with, there's chronic illnesses and diseases. Yes, there absolutely are. There are chronic illnesses and diseases that make it so it's harder for some people to lose weight. Guess what? That just means you need to try fucking harder. It's insane. It really is. Network television would start broadcasting starving children in other countries again. They fucking should. High island lifestyle is compromised of habits. Generally, folks need to grab onto healthy habits and let go. That's actually, if you know my content at all, that's what we do at our coaching. We help take a person's lifestyle and we change it just a little bit. Then we form it into a habit. Then we change it a little bit, change it into a habit, a little bit, change it into a habit. We help morph a person's lifestyle bit by bit. We build healthy habits. Like we have the person evaluate themselves and evaluate why they do stuff, so then they can adjust the habit themselves after they're done. We teach them how to make adjustments once they're done with coaching too. The idea is, it's not about the super hard workout. The idea is that the person wants to just be consistent and healthy the entire time. Alan always raw and straight, no bad music and terrible voices. Anyway, I'm 6'2", eat 2,400 to 3,200 calories a day. Not ashamed. That's for 6'2", depending on how active you are, that ought to keep you somewhere around, 180 to 200 pounds, depending on how active you are. It's 6'2". That might even be still a little overweight, depends on your body composition, of course. A huge number of people should recognize that they should eat much less, like much fucking less. There is also a strong connection between obesity and trauma, but people are not ready to talk about that yet. It isn't try harder when you have obese folks also dealing with toxic stress response. You know what? Life sucks. Buy a helmet. Because we're in society right now, trauma is, when people like say shit to you. That's not trauma. The problem is people are viewing trauma as not getting their way. Like, oh, it's trauma when if somebody calls me fat. If you're fat, you're fat. That's not trauma. That's fucking reality. And that's not a lot of people. There's not a strong correlation with it. Does mental health and childhood trauma and shit like that, does that actually add to the possibility that the person has a hard time developing healthy life skills? Absolutely. That's not an excuse. That's the fucking reason. I'm just saying, like, I want people to get healthy. I talk about mental health care all the time. We literally, we fucking literally have somebody we refer people to, a telecounselor, a PhD psychologist, licensed telecounselor that we refer people to. But that excuse you just gave is exactly that. It's a fucking excuse. I don't understand how somebody else's trauma should make it so that they should burden other people. We should help that person. I am completely in complete agreement. We should make it so that they have access to all that mental health care that they could possibly need, and they can pay for it, and they need it. But it is an excuse. It's an excuse. It's absolutely an excuse. So your premise is that you shouldn't do anything about it, that it just is the way it is. That's an excuse. What we need, the strong connection. There's a strong connection between people liking fucking ho-hos and being fat too. There's a strong connection between people. No, my 300-pound loss isn't. And I am very happy that you lost 300 pounds. But you did not use it as an excuse. You lost 300 pounds. Think about that for a second. If it was an excuse, you would have stayed 300 pounds larger. You are defeating your own argument by saying you've lost 300 pounds. You did not use it as an excuse. It was a reason that you were fat and you fixed it. Thank you. If you never said don't do anything, it is an excuse. It's an excuse. If you don't do something about it, it's an excuse. But if you look at fat liberation, they do. And that manipulates other survivors. Now, what you're saying is that you were 300 pounds from your trauma, and fixed it. The excuse that you got to be 300 pounds, literally, once you stopped looking at it as an excuse and looked at it as the reason you were bigger, and you got treatment for it, and you got help for it, and you lost 300 pounds. I understand that you want to say it's a reason why you got there, or but that's an excuse, you know? No. If we tackle both adverse childhood reactions and obesity at the same time, what we need to tackle is self-responsibility. What we need to tackle is people. What we need to tackle is people thinking that there is any other reason besides the food you put in your mouth compared to the activity you do. All right, there are many reasons. many reasons why people in society today become fat. For a huge portion of those, it is that their parents make them fat. And that's sad. That really is. But it is an excuse. This is like saying, it is very much like saying that the person who's an alcoholic, it's the reason why, like the trauma that made a person alcoholic is the reason why they're an alcoholic and stay an alcoholic. That's an excuse. Okay, it's personal responsibility. If the second you notice there's a problem, you try to get help for it. And if you don't, you just have to accept the fact that you allowed it to happen to yourself. It is called personal responsibility. I agree with you. So you just were, it seems that eat less calories, everybody probably could. Yeah, and therapy for fat people who proclaim to be anorexic. God, that fucking shit's crazy. Anyway. People turn to alcohol because of trauma. People also become sober to become better. Boom. Exactly. Victim mentality. And that's what the problem is. The problem is we have a huge segment of society right now that just wants to be like, love me for me no matter what. I don't want to put any effort into actually myself. I'm just going to proclaim I'm awesome. And if you've got that fucking kind of stroke, that's great. It really is. And if you want to think that way about yourself, that's fucking awesome. However, if you are, in fact, unhealthy and burdening society, then that's what it is. If you are lifestyle-driven unhealthy, you are burdening society. If people pointing that out upsets you, that's a you problem. Because it's just fact. It just is. Results or excuses, you can't have both. I fucking love that. You can help on all fronts accept your own role in your life. That's the fucking thing. People need to accept their role in what they do in their life. They need to fix some shit. They need to fucking understand that they are in charge of them damn selves. You know? Give me a second here. Gotta check some shit out. Oh, there we go. Anyway. There's always room for improvement. Great line, Barbie. I completely agree. So here's what we're going to do. We got about another 12, 13 minutes left. I'm going to do Q&A. I don't know where that Isabel went. It seems like I published a study. I put up the first study, and she just disappeared. Crazy. But so we'll do some Q&A, questions about anything. If I missed a question up top, I'm not going to go back. So if I missed a question, you're still watching, please do feel free to put it again. Do not copy and paste over and over again. Just put it again because I'm watching the comments moving forward. And I'll do Q&A. I do, again, want to tell everybody that we have 30-minute consultations, and we are doing a coaching special just for you motherfuckers. So please do. If you are having trouble, if you have yo-yo dieted a bunch of times, if you have worked out really hard, and then really dieted really hard, and worked out really hard, and felt proud of yourself, and then when you went back to your lifestyle, gained all the weight back plus more, we can help you. We can help it make it so you don't have to feel like. We have this saying for our clients. The sweet spot is when you are feeling satiated and satisfied and happy with your food and not too restricted and you're still losing weight. That is this fucking sweet spot, okay? People need to redetermine their cues. Somebody asked earlier, what do you think of carnivore? You know, the problem with carnivore is the same as the problem with, there we go. I think Raymond Blaze asked. The problem with carnivore that I have is that I do believe that it breeds some micronutrient deficiencies and some deficiencies in other stuff like fiber is an actual real thing that the human body needs. To just eat meat is not necessarily, something that I can honestly say that there's many days that I probably do just eat meat. Just eat. That I do just eat like red meat and eggs and or whatever. But my thing about it is when people call anything a diet, like it's a temporary state. It is a temporary alteration in their consistent nutritional intake, right? So the thing about that is, unless you're going to keep it up forever, what's the plan to be off of it to avoid weight regain? Now, carnivore, like I can say this, carnivore is something that for my, like right now, I'm floating about like 14% or 15% body fat probably. Here by my birthday, by my 51st birthday in July, I'll probably be somewhere around between 8 to 10% at some point in time, like somewhere in there, right? And I will probably do I'm going to be eating far less carbohydrates, even starchy carbohydrates. I'm going to be eating mostly like spinach, green beans, broccoli, that sort of thing as my vegetable sources. Squash. Crystal's been making this fucking amazing beef squash tomato soup. It's just fucking so fucking delicious. I can't even it's almost I almost find myself trying almost overeating it because it's so delicious. But it's soup, so it's calorically, it's micronutriently full. There's tons of vitamins, minerals, protein, fat, everything like that in it. But it's not. It doesn't have much calories to it. That's fucking amazing. Amazing. But I will probably avoid carbohydrates, like even starchy vegetables, as a temporary change to then alter my body fat percentage down to what I want to be at for my 51st birthday, right? I will also change the type of meat I eat. I do eat a lot of chuck steak, which is a fattier cut of steak, just because I find it more flavorful and has umami to me. But I'll probably switch more to like a bottom round or eye of round because it's much leaner, and a pound of chuck steak I think is something like 1,000 calories, whereas a pound of bottom round is something like 650 to 700 calories, depending on the cow and everything like that. And it's just a guesstimate, right? So my problem with carnivore or keto or paleo or something like that, if it's not something you plan on or could do for the entirety of your life, it is just a temporary fix, and it should be viewed that way. So therefore, you can then plan for when you come off of it. So there's not a negative necessarily, as long as you're, still taking multivitamins. Go to the doctor, get your vitamin levels checked, get your testosterone levels checked, get everything checked. Of course, I don't have an issue with any type of diet, as long as it can be, good for you nutrition. You can get all of your micro and macronutrients, and it can be good for you in the long run. Or you have a method where you're going to use it temporarily for a temporary short-term goal, and then find a way to go back into a healthy lifestyle from it. Because a lot of times what happens is people go off carnivore, they start eating carbohydrates again, and they just fucking shoot back up into bad habits because they all of a sudden have crazy insulin reactions, Maybe Isabella got stuck on Google, and I hope that answered your question. Because I'm not I'm not against any type of diet. If it works for you, especially if mentally it works for you, and you can sustain it, and it feels good for you, and it produces good results, that's good, Alan, have you and your partner considered a long form 30 to 40 minutes podcast? We did, and we're still waiting to hear back on an appeal. It seems that every time we go to use the Gainscast channel, we get a warning, and we had one video that got taken down, appealed, came back up, and that same day they took another video down. So, Alan, your Hunger Man videos don't get enough views. I thank you very much. I think that what we try to do, Crystal and I, is try to make it so people can be happy with their life, satiated, satisfied, not hungry all the fucking time. To me, that is a life. Occasionally have something like we were away for Valentine's Day. I drank some wine over the weekend. We ate amazing food. I had potatoes almost every day. I don't normally do that. I had potatoes almost every day. Amazing barbecue. amazing fucking barbecue, you know? I don't even think we indulge in sweets that much because Crystal's not a sweets person for Valentine's Day. She would much prefer like a good steak than chocolate, you know? She doesn't like chocolate at all. Anyway, Mark McElroy, Alan and Crystal are great at what they do and definitely worth trying out. Take advantage of the discount. It's really worth it. Mark, thank you very much, man. I appreciate you very, very, very much. People apparently hate the truth. No shit. I love soup. Make most of mine with a bone broth base. She uses a bone broth base also. I believe. What do I think about veganism? I think about veganism pretty much the same way I think about carnivore or keto or anything like that. I do find vegans to be, yeah, and Casey put it, vegans tend to restrict themselves a lot, you know, and then they find themselves eating very, very highly processed food. That's the problem with vegan food right now. Vegan food right now is a lot of processed crap, you know. Alan, your views are low on YouTube now. Yes, they are. Absolutely. When you say stuff against the narrative, that's what YouTube does to you. But I'm good with it. Like, that's the fucking thing. It's a weird thing is that like a lot of people view YouTube popularity as importance or more correctness and shit like that. I'm a health coach. I'm a best-selling author. You know, like we're about to come out with another book and multiple other things, including the launch of our appetite suppressant. Like, this is a very small segment of what I do. I enjoy talking live. That's why we did this. I find it funny that most of these other fitness professionals, quote unquote, don't do much live because I don't think they can talk their fucking points. But the views being low, I'm actually good with because I know that I've spoken. I've spoken very clearly, precisely, and I've kept my integrity the entirety of this time. So, yes, potato is a starch, and I said moving forward, I'm not going to. You know, yes, I'm very clear. I'm very aware. Thank you, buddy. Neither do I have to be in the mood for chocolate. I feel I perform best on keto, low carb with IF mixed in. You know, I do. I obviously I haven't eaten yet today. I probably won't eat until our evening meal. And I think I'm making just homemade burger patties, you know, chopped steaks with cheese, and I'll probably make some hash browns for Crystal, and I'm probably going to have just some green beans or something like that with mine. But when you eat mostly protein, healthy fat, it's more satiating. And I've done a pretty good job of my fluid today, which is very fucking good. Very good. Alan, Raymond Blaze, Alan, yes, you did. I am mostly plant-based eater. We do plant-based once or twice a week, though. Like, the only starches I'll probably consistently take in from now until my birthday will be beans, like starches from beans and stuff like that. Oh, cool. Another book. Your first one was really helpful. Thank you very much. This book, by the way, when Crystal and I release it, and you guys will know about it, but when we release it, it will also give you a month worth of the app, too. So, yeah, because you'll be getting it off the app. Views equal correctness. Funny. What do you think about the Freely Banana Girl during Rider diet? They're crazy people. I don't watch their diets. I don't watch their content. I think they're fucking. Isn't she the chick that was trying to get people to eat like 50 fucking bananas in a day? They're fucking loon bags. Like complete fucking crazy people. You know? I'm doing low carb OMAD. Low carb OMAD works. So I don't eat processed foods. As a plant-based eater, processed food is dangerous. That's the best way to do it. If you are going, here's the thing. If you're going to be a plant-based eater, make sure you get some legumes in there. Make sure you like beans, everything like that. Beans and rice are a complete protein together. Get some hemp in your diet, absolutely. Minimize the soy. I would prefer people went more towards hemp than soy, just to be honest. But I do think that there's something to be said if you can expend the calories. The issue that most like whole food vegan eaters have is that they do not have the time or are as active as they need to be, and they end up getting fat. For most vegans, though, like Lizzo's fucking fat because she's vegan. She eats fried vegan crap all the fucking time. That's why she's fat. That and she just eats a lot and is in complete denial, and it's horrible for her fucking audience, and breaks every terms of service agreement with TikTok about eating disorders and shit. So, but last call for any questions. And again, here, guys, I'm going to put this in. This is our coaching link and a 30-minute consultation. Please feel free to take us up on that offer. And I will answer any questions we have in the last couple minutes of this, and then I'm going to fucking get myself going. I got shit I got to get done. Okay. And keto OMAD here, and friggin' love it. I keep my mind off of food, and at the end of the day, I have a really solid meal, and don't worry about feelings, and don't worry about feeling sleepy afterwards. That's the fucking way to do it. That's a good fucking way. It's a good fucking way. Do make sure you're allowing yourself something for indulgence occasionally, especially if you start feeling feelings of restriction. You want to make sure that doesn't creep up on you, because feelings of restriction, especially on OMAD, can cause overeating at the feeding window and or possible binges if you've ever had a history of binging. So just watch out for that. And anyway, I hope everybody had a great time. We will be live tomorrow at 7 in the morning. I will be posting up the link here soon. And I hope all of you have a great motherfucking day. God damn.